Hi everyone, this is your sister Mana Surudan. I'm coming to you with a video to thank all my friends and family on Facebook, followers and supporters and likers, everybody that support my page. Appreciated, and I'm doing it for all of us. May God bless all of us. And then I want to talk on a subject that is very sensitive when it comes to the continent Africa. But yes, we have to talk about it. If you have a bad person in your family and try to hide it, no matter how you hide it, at the end of the day, one day it's going to come out and it will be worse. So we'll rather talk about African politics today and bring it out there for people to get awareness so we'll be able to correct it, all mistakes that we're making before we get into 21st century. It's sad that today Africa, politicians are above the law. The leaders are above everything. You can't talk about leaders. If we say we are following democracy, then we need to obey democracy rules. Why is it that in the African continent, when you criticize a leader, they will come out to let people to know that because you belong to the opposition party, that's why you're criticizing them. Let me make this perfectly clear to everybody. I do not belong to a political group in Africa or Ghana, anywhere in Africa continent. I'm trying to make this clear. But I'm a product of Africa. Africa is my birthplace, especially Ghana. I have a right. If I see anything wrong in Africa or Ghana, and I can say something to educate my people on that particular subject that I saw that is wrong, it's my duty and right to say it. Some people may not like the idea. Nobody's perfect, so that we leaders. Every politician comes out with an agenda and ideas to get in power. But the moment you vote them in power, the ideas and agenda disappear overnight. Simply because they have bad advisors following them, advising them for the things that they can benefit for themselves, not for the country and her citizens. So that's the reason why we're allowed to have watchdog groups out there to criticize when you're doing something wrong and still talk. Criticize in a good way when you're doing something right, to applaud you. It happened in the whole world except in African continent that you can do that. Maybe is it because that we were colonized and the colonial masters left and the colonialism mentality still stays in Africa, never left. That's probably why these things still exist in Africa today. What I mean is like the colonial master came and say, what, divide, conquer and rule. They left 61 and a half years later. We still have the same mentality to divide and conquer and rule in Africa, and we're still using the same ideas on our own people when it comes to politics, so we can rule them and make ourselves rich instead of the citizen and the country first. And yet they say you shouldn't criticize. Every human being, citizen of the country, have the right to voice your opinion. If you see something that is out there, is affecting your day-to-day life, you have the right to voice your opinion. If we say we're following democracy, we have to obey the democracy rules. There's nothing but democracy rule. If we want to do that, maybe it's about time for us to start educating our citizens what is politics and democracy. Democracy, if we follow democracy rules, does not make us enemy to each other. It does not make us conquer and rule to each other. Politics is nothing but business transaction. The politicians become businessmen for your country to represent your citizens, and the president represent the country on the global world and the world out there. When it comes to negotiation, to go to the world office, the president represents your country, whether it's UN OAU, or whatever it is, to make sure that his or her citizens get the fair share of their country, whatever is out in the world market. That's what it's about. I'm just trying to make it simple so people will understand. That's the reason why we should not fight each other for politician or political affiliation. As simple as that. When you have your business partner or businessman sitting next to your office side, or you have a store closer to your other partner that have a business, at the end of the day, no matter how much argument you have, but you make up, you know that one day you do business together. You don't continue the fight. The same thing applies to the politics and politicians. We shouldn't be fighting one another. Whether you belong to MPP or NDC, at the end of the day, when politics is gone, we are human beings before the parties. Before any political affiliation or before any political parties in Africa, we were Africans first. Before any religion, we were Africans first. Before colonialism, we were Africans first. We should not forget this one principal rule that our forefathers always have. Where are we going? What are we doing as Africans? Turning each other against each other so we can get rich. Today, God become a second-class citizen to some people, and then greed become a first-class citizen. Rich become a first-class citizen, and then we think that we're getting away with it. We should have in mind that there is God, and no matter what goes around, comes around. You may have the money today to enjoy and think you are above everything. But there is a judgment day. And the judgment day, we all are going to be on one platform. There is no like Muslim, Christian, Judaism, or we're all going to be in one platform. And God are going to ask all of us that when you came into this planet, the God work that you're supposed to do, did you do it? Some of us may even see our hell in this planet before leaving. But we may not recognize it. If we start paying attention to each other and ourselves, we'll see what's going wrong in our life, so we'll try to correct it. It's sad. This nasty politics in Africa need to stop. Why are you going to make people to kill each other and sweat so you can get rich on them? If a president or a leader don't want to be criticized, do the right things that will benefit your citizens. Do things that your citizens are going to be proud to talk about when they see anything about you. Just do example as what your other the presidents that came before you, what they did for people to talk good about them. When you also come, do the same thing. Do something good in that country of yours, so your citizens will be proud of you. When you become a politician, you become a property of a state. You're no longer yourself. You are owned by your citizens, and they demand for you to do the right things. This nonsense going on the whole world and then the whole Africa term, and as well Africans, Ghana. You guys take politics to the next level with your division and all this nonsense. When I talk about this, people say like, oh, you talk about your northern tradition, what and what. Yes. Before you support any cause, you have to know who you are. I'm proud to be a northerner. I'm proud to descend from a northerner. And I'm proud to be the Widana the first granddaughter. My forefather is Widana the first. I'm proud to descend from this man. We need to put this pettiness aside and unite our people. Africa has a lot to offer his people or her people. Till our leaders recognize their mistakes and correct this issue and make sure that their citizens understand what politics is. Politics does not mean that we should hate one another or kill one another or fight each other. Politics is about to argue. At the end of the day, after the argument, we'll become one people again. That's what politics is about. Politics is to go out there and argue and benefit your state, the people that voted you in place. You go out there, those things that you told them that you're going to bring them, you go out there and fight, whether it's a parliament or a senate or a congress, to bring those ideas that you put out there for them to elect to a first place to begin with. You put those things out there and bring them. Make sure you fight to get them the fair share what they deserve in their various states or regions. That's what it's about. It's not about to pushing your citizens against each other to be fighting so you guys will be getting rich and then they keep on fighting each other. Why is it that the poor people are the ones that always have to continue bleeding for the rich? It's about time for this nonsense to stop.